The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer, Brian Haynes alongside, as well as Jeremy Greene. It is the Sportsocracy's off-season review of the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh,
Eagles
God,
fans are going to love this.
Philadelphia
I can't
Eagles
wait
fans,
to hear everybody.
They're just too out there, man.
They may suffer from DFS.
They may suffer from delusional fan syndrome, and that's why we're here to try to keep you grounded about your 4-11-1 team from last year, losing Carson Wentz, deciding to go with Jalen Hurts in this season. Nick Sirianni comes in, his first head coaching job in the NFL. This is not going to be a good season. I don't see a path aside from Jeremy's his what I consider a very long shot take that Deshaun Watson might end up with the Philadelphia Eagles before the season begins. Anything short of that, this is going to be a bad football team.
They're not good. You still have, now you have a receiver.
Yep.
Yeah. After
They still got Jalen Hurts playing quarterback.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not good.
Devonta Smith with the 10th pick overall in the draft. They had to trade up to get him.
After trading back.
And now you've got Devonta Smith. I love this. Best offseason addition, Devonta Smith. Rookie contributor, Devonta Smith. Value fantasy player. Guess who?
One guess.
Devonta
Give you
Smith.
3 guesses. First 2 don't count.
And their biggest need remaining is absolutely a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not a guy that's going to lead you to many wins. I think we all saw that last year. There are not a lot of high hopes for us here in the Sportsocracy for this to be even a decent team. I'm actually surprised that 2 of you I'm actually surprised that 2 of us actually have them with as many wins as they had last year.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're a 4-win football team. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team's god-awful, but the defense still has players. I mean, you still have Derek Barnett, you still have Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay. The problem is whoever plays on the opposite side is going to get beat like a kettle drum on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. As of right now, it'd be Avonte Maddox or Zech McPherson, the third rounder that they took this year. I mean, just to me, this is a year that you scrub the decks. You got rid of Carson Wentz. You have 3 first-rounders next year. I am still of the belief that Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because he's not going to be the starter in Houston.
We can all agree that he's not going to be
Everything Houston has gone in that trajectory.
Yes.
So he has to go somewhere. Well, there's not many teams that need a quarterback that have, I'll call it, discretionary draft capital. Philadelphia does.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a home run swing for Howie Roseman in the hopes that the legal issues with Deshaun Watson go away. Because you're going to get him for 25 cents on the dollar. And there's no doubt about that. We're talking about this being 3 ones, 2 twos, and 2 players. Now it's a 1 and a conditional 3.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. I think if I'm Howie Roseman, I call Houston right now and say, I'll give you my 1 this year. I will give you a conditional 3 in 2023. And it could elevate up to a second 1 if he plays 75% of the snaps for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a home run for the Eagles because I'm not as sold that everybody in this division is as good as the rest of you are. I like Washington, but I think we all got a little crazy with Washington.
I mean,
the Cowboys are going to have to show it to
much?
me. I mean, the Cowboys are going to have to show me that the defense has improved. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be better. That doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Right.
And the Giants suck. Sorry, Brian.
It's okay.
This guy has the Eagles winning 4 games, and if they get Deshaun Watson, then they're going to win more games than the Giants. That's our first long-term bet of the season.
There's no doubt about it.
It is a no doubt.
No, you guys are crazy.
Fact or fiction, Deshaun Watson starts game 1 for Philadelphia. They have the best quarterback in this division by 10 miles.
They have the best quarterback in this division. That doesn't mean they have the best team in this division or a decent team. What do you do
better than the Eagles if they have Deshaun Watson?
You have
more receivers,
better running back, a better offensive line, a better wide receivers, a better tight end. We have a better defense. We have.
You don't have a better tight end. Dallas Goedert's better than any tight end you have on the roster.
Okay. I mean, Evan Ingram has to catch the ball first, but he's pretty good.
And he doesn't do that. He don't hold on to it particularly well.
Well, I understand that, but and we'll get to that when we talk about.
Here's the discrepancy, and this is the reason that I think the Eagles ultimately do this. First of all, I've heard it more than once. Second of all, they're the team that could improve the most with the addition of Deshaun Watson. If you tell me going into this season they wind up stuck with Zach Ertz, having to ride out the last year of that deal because no one will give them anything for him, Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith, Jalen Reagor, and hell, Greg Ward, or Travis Fulgham, or whoever the hell else, that's better than two of the teams in this division. Can't necessarily tell you which two teams it is. I mean, the Giants are one of them. And then I would honestly say I would like this team better than the. Oh, God, they're right there. They're so close. With Watson, they'd be close as hell.
I just think that's just crazy, honestly.
That's because you're a delusional fan.
Yeah, well,
there's a reason you were used as the example in the delusional fan video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, Brandon Cooks, and Will Fuller are better than Devonta Smith and Jalen Reagor. Yes or no?
Deshaun Watson's better than Daniel Jones 10 times over.
No, I'm
the rest
talking,
of it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm talking about them. If he's on this team, tell me who had a better team overall last year with Deshaun Watson. Wide receiver core is going to be better. So you're going to say that Deshaun Watson's going to come to a team with inferior wide receivers, but they're going to raise them.
The Texans to the Eagles?
I'm comparing last year with Deshaun Watson, their wide receiving core that they had, to what the Philadelphia Eagles have this year. What is going to make them better?
The Eagles is better.
Okay.
They have two legitimate tight ends. They have a rookie wide receiver.
Because Jalen Reagor was so freaking awesome last year.
He was actually pretty good when he was on the field.
Okay. I don't see it.
You're comparing this Eagles team that, yes, I'm low on with Jalen Hurts because I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. You're comparing it to a Texans team that was gutted by Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Gutted. Best player on the team is the left tackle outside of Deshaun Watson.
And they had a better wide receiving core. And
Will Fuller was hurt horrible. Again. Brandon Cooks is Brandon Cooks, and by the way, Brandon Cooks is pretty damn good.
That's
and they couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. So, yeah, every team in the league just dropped back and went, you beat us.
Okay.
Because you can't run. We know you can't run. Hell, we can put 5 in the box and stop you.
Yeah.
I felt like the Philadelphia.
Brian hates when I'm realistic about his team.
No, I'm not realistic. I'm just realistic about this team. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be hot garbage, sewer water, terrible NFL team.
With Jalen Hurts, I agree.
They are across the board one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL. They will be this year, and they still will be with Deshaun Watson. I don't think a quarterback like him is going to make that big of a difference to rise his team from 2 to 4 wins up to 6 or 7 or 8 wins. I just don't see him
think it's more than that,
being, and that is absolutely insane.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Roster for roster, who's better, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Seattle Seahawks? Take the quarterback out.
The Seattle Seahawks.
You're drunk. You're drunk. You're not even. I don't even think it's close, to be honest
with
you. I really don't. That Seahawks offensive line is hot garbage. The defense is horrid. They have Jamal Adams and a couple other old players. That's it. They can't get to the quarterback. They can't do shit. Philadelphia has 3 legitimate guys that can get to the quarterback. Actually 4 because I forgot Ryan Kerrigan.
And that team with Carson Wentz at quarterback was absolutely horrible last year.
There's a huge damn difference between, and I'm the biggest Carson Wentz apologist on earth.
Okay.
We even look like brothers. I mean, Jesus Christ, I love Carson Wentz. There's no doubting comparing him to Deshaun Watson's like comparing a Maserati to a Kia.
Yeah. I'm just telling you.
I mean, the Kia will get you from point A to point B, but there's no comparison.
Deshaun Watson is not going to be worth 5 wins on this Philadelphia Eagles
by the way,
roster.
Here's the other thing that you haven't talked about. This will be the best offensive line he's ever been behind.
Okay.
Which really says how bad it's been in Houston more than anything.
Yeah.
I just think this is a team in a lot of flux. There is a lot of flux here. If you go in with Jalen Hurts, yeah, you're going to be picking the top 5.
Yep.
Point blank. I don't think you're going to. That's my spicy. I keep getting told from people inside the NFL, Deshaun Watson will never play another game in Houston. Okay, well, he's got to go somewhere. Name me any other.
And I don't disagree with that. I think that there would be a perfect spot for Deshaun Watson to go. I think it would cure a lot of ills, especially in the Philadelphia front office after the debacle that's been Howie Roseman in the last little bit here. Just coming out and the words coming out of his mouth saying that he that the scouting department had the rookie of the year on offense and the second running and the defensive rookie of the year on their first 2 picks, and he went otherwise. He did the same thing this year, and you've seen what happened with him and the other scout in the war room. And it was pretty bad. And it was real bad. And I just think that for a team that has this kind of thing, for Howie Roseman, this would be a home run swing because he can kind of take that chance on Deshaun Watson because it can't get any worse than what he's already doing.
This is the definition of how important quarterbacks are. With Jalen Hurts, I see Philadelphia at 4-13. With Deshaun Watson, hell, let's just go through it, shall we? I'll just tell you how different it is. I have Philadelphia's schedule in front of me. This is assuming that I said they're 4-13 with Hurts. This is assuming they have Deshaun Watson week 1. Atlanta, win. San Francisco, loss. At Dallas, loss. Kansas City, loss. At Carolina, win. Tampa Bay, loss. At Vegas, win. At Detroit, win. Chargers, win. Denver, win. New Orleans, win. At the Giants, win. I'm to 8, and I'm not even to week 13 yet. You tell me where I'm wrong. I get the best quarterback on the field, and I actually get better playmakers in like 4 of them.
They're not beating Los Angeles Chargers.
In Philly? In Philly in November, you're going to take a team West Coast to East. That is a 4 o'clock game, I will say. So it actually feels like an actual game time. But you're telling me the Chargers are going to go from 80 degree San Diego to Philadelphia in November. You ever been to Philadelphia in November?
I have.
It's about 6.
Yeah.
It's colder than a well digger's ass. Yeah, I'll take Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this team will be much better if they get Deshaun Watson. However,
and they end with 4 divisional games. I'll be honest with you. I'll go one step further. With Deshaun Watson, they could win this division. With Deshaun Watson, they could win this division. Without him, they're one of the 5 worst teams in the league. That's how important a quarterback is.
I will say they have a shot to win the division. I still feel like the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington football team are better than they are with Deshaun Watson.
I'm going to die on my shield with this Deshaun Watson thing. Philadelphia didn't do shit in the offseason. Cool, you added Landon Dickerson. He's going to play guard for a year and then slide over to center for Jason Kelce.
Yep.
I will be honest with you. Looking at this team, Brandon Brooks, Kelce, and Landon Dickerson on the inside, they're going to be able to run better than you think they are. Straight up. Miles Sanders behind that, they'll be able to run better than you think they will.
And I do like Miles Sanders a lot.
And that's another thing about the Watson thing. You're comparing team to team. Miles Sanders has been the best running back he's ever played with. Not close.
Yeah.
Not even debatable.
I agree. It's not that I don't disagree with you across the whole board. It definitely makes them a better team. I just find it hard to find. I have them at 2-15. So that would mean that Deshaun Watson to get to 10 wins.
But there's a huge difference because you're talking about a one-dimensional quarterback in Jalen Hurts. He does not have a deep ball arm. It was just egregiously obvious last year.
Yeah.
You take that away, keep the ability to run because Deshaun Watson's a better runner than Jalen Hurts is. Well, he's a faster runner. I shouldn't say he's a better runner. You have the element of he can scramble out of the pocket, so you can't send 6 or 7 guys at him.
Yeah.
And he has the deep ball with Rager who can catch a deep ball, Devonta Smith, who I think is going to be a tactician across the middle. And then at least one tight end. Let's say they find somebody to take Zach Ertz because they seem to be just Seacrest out on him.
Right.
Even then, I'm looking at, what are you going to do? All right, I got a question about Andre Dillard.
Yeah.
You're not good at left tackle. The rest of the line's pretty damn good. You got Lane Johnson on the right side. Health. Health is important.
As they stay healthy.
And I'm going to be honest with you. How much worse could Andre Dillard be than Jason Peters was last year? And that's an unpopular take because he's a Hall of Famer and everybody in Philadelphia loves him. He wasn't good.
Not last year, yeah. Career-wise, he's not talking about his career. He's talking about last year alone.
This has been a ton of speculation. But it's speculation that I think needs to be talked about. And nobody's talking about Deshaun in Philadelphia, and I am dead fucking convinced on it.
Well, and to be honest, it's the best talking point that we have for the Philadelphia Eagles. Without Deshaun Watson, this is a god-awful football team.
Well, and anybody want to take a stab at who their big addition in the offseason was?
Anthony Harris.
Woohoo! That franchise safety from Minnesota that was, he did stuff last year.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Hot.
Right.
And it's just a team that lost a lot of pieces, but you added draft capital. And I'll be honest with you, I can't get away from this. If you go into next year with Deshaun Watson at quarterback with, again, all of the legal things out of the way, and you got 2 1s to build a team around him, we've talked about Washington being the best team in this division for the long haul.
Yep.
I'm not convinced it wouldn't be Philadelphia. One move, and you're set up Ideally.
Yeah, depending on what you do with those draft picks, because you are going to have a lot of contracts coming off in the next couple of years and guys retiring. So you got to fill those holes
and Howie
properly.
Roseman may look at this as this is the opportunity for me to scrub the decks.
Yep.
I'll give Jalen Hurts a year. I know it's not going to end well, and then I can go take whoever I want next year. That's entirely possible. If that's the case, you're bad this year. Period. There's nobody will ever convince me otherwise.
Either way, you're not going to be a playoff contender. I don't believe.
That's not
You're
true.
talking about-
He just said that with Deshaun Watson, they might win the division.
I don't think they will.
You said they could. We
I
both
mean,
said
they could, but I don't think it will.
I don't think they're better than any of the teams in the NFC West outside of maybe Seattle. But, I mean, they'd be the second best team in the NFC North. They'd be the second best team in the NFC South. Yeah, with Deshaun Watson, I think they're probably a playoff team.
Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it that way until you said that.
Right.
I mean, because somebody in the NFC West has to lose games. I mean, Jesus Christ, they can't tie every game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got 3 teams in that division winning double-digit games
Yeah, we do.
across the board.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody has to lose.
And it's not like we don't have, and we have Seattle winning 7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
None of us have them at like 3 or 4 wins. You know what I mean? So, I think it would be a really good move for Philadelphia. It would obviously improve their team. I don't see this roster as improving that much with him. But hey, Deshaun Watson can be an all-world talent, and you never know. And maybe you get Jalen Reagor to take the next step next year.
Well, he's going to be playing out the slot this year, which I think certainly helps. That was one of my things about Devonta Smith. Did I love them trading up to get him? No, because I don't like bad teams using draft capital.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, do I prefer you to give up a third-round pick to go get a guy like Devonta Smith as opposed to trying to ride with Terrace Marshall as your one?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Because I think you actually just gave yourself 2 first-round picks 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Because this allows Jalen Reagor to do what he is best at.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, this is a team that has 3 number 1 draft picks next year that we can't forget about.
Yep.
No matter what happens this year, whether
Even
you
if
get
I'm
this,
super wrong.
Even if they don't get Deshaun Watson, they're going into the season with Jalen Hurts. They're going to be pretty bad, but they have an ability to rebuild quicker than I would have actually thought after losing Carson Wentz, the other guys losing on the team. I think this team has a possibility in the future that is a little bit brighter than it might have been.
They have the ability, but can they do it?
Yeah.
That's the problem. They'll have the ammo to do it, but if Howie Roseman keeps drafting his guys rather than listening to the actual scouts in the room, I don't like the future for the Philadelphia Eagles here. I think they're going to be a dumpster fire again. I think it's going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Should the Deshaun Watson thing happen, then of course we will come back and we will redo this whole review.
Yeah, exactly.
Because immediately it becomes a really good offseason if you can pick up a top 5 quarterback who's 25 years old. There's no doubt
and you've
about
got
it.
a cap ledger that gets real pretty in a couple years.
Yeah, you do. The Philadelphia Eagles, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Brian Haynes. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get all of our off-season reviews right here in the Sportsocracy. We'll see you next time.